Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Este es un nuevo episodio de Desde Afuera podcast. And this time is going to be in English again because I have a new special guest. Her name is Doja, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hola, me llamo es Ayatollah Adeyemi. Yo estoy amiga.
That's all you know in Spanish.
Let me see. I could say yo vive in Nueva York y Jacksonville. I go to yo voy University in Florida.
This episode is going to be about her life here in the US, her cultural challenge. She's going to talk about herself, her experience with her religious culture and everything.
Yeah,
Mask off.
mask off.
So we're going to start. Who's Doja and why little Doja ended here in the States? Tell us everything.
Okay, so basically, like I said earlier, my name is Ayatollah Adeyemi. My middle name is Adi Doja, hence Doja. That's
That's
for
why
short.
we call her Doja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm Nigerian. I moved here like 4 years ago as a student. I wanted to major in writing and literature, and there wasn't really a lot of opportunities back home to study that because that was considered as a, should I say, useless major. So my dad was like, okay, maybe if you're interested in like studying abroad. And I was like, yes, why not? So I moved over here and I got into I started applying to schools basically way before I got here. So I applied to multiple colleges. I got rejected by one. So I was supposed to start school in 2021, but I got rejected by one. So I had to take like a whole break. And then the following year, I applied again and I got into St. Francis. So I didn't really have much knowledge about New York. I'm familiar with like Indianapolis, and that was just it. But I didn't even like, I didn't think New York, like I would always hear about New York, like it's a big city, this and that, but like I never really thought it was like, this big of a deal. So
Just to take it back a little bit,
yeah,
you were in Nigeria,
yeah,
and how was it? You ever felt this desire to go out to another
yes.
country? It was easy, the process, or
I
how was
mean,
it?
it wasn't in my plans to like actually go out of the country from the start, but I have always wanted to leave my state. Like I didn't want to go to school in my state, so I've always wanted to like travel out of my state
Your
and like
state
away from
that's
my,
in Nigeria.
yeah, my state
Okay.
that isn't like within Nigeria. So like
Okay.
say I didn't want to, if I and my family were living here in New York, I didn't want to study in New York. I wanted to move out of my family's like I say I
Out
was
of
just
your
trying to
family's
escape.
nest.
Yeah,
Right.
yes. I just, should I say I was tired of like, I'm the second child of a family of three. So like I just really wanted to escape. Like I was like, I'm so done with my sister. I cannot imagine having to go and then coming back home to meet my siblings. So I was like, no, I need to escape. And also like I've always had a desire to learn different languages. And in Nigeria, like they speak different multiple languages. So I set my eyes on one state and I was like, I need to go to this state and learn a new language
So there are
there.
different I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
feel like we don't know anything about
Yeah.
Nigeria, at least myself.
Yeah.
So there's different languages
Yeah.
in every state in Nigeria. So Nigeria has states just as the US,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
okay, like different regions
Yeah.
in the same country. And
Yeah.
you guys all talk different languages in
Yes.
those regions.
But we all speak
That's
English.
sick.
Yes, I know.
Oh, you all speak English.
Yeah, we all
Okay.
speak English, but like different parts of Nigeria, we speak different languages. But the three main languages are like Yoruba, we have Igbo, and Hausa. The language I really wanted to learn was Hausa. And the school that I really wanted to go to was a school in the north. So we have the north, the west, and the east. So the school that I wanted to go to was in the north. I live in the western part of Nigeria. And my dad also graduated from the same university. So I really wanted to get into that college. But growing up, my parents will always tell me they wanted me to study petroleum engineering because Nigeria is a country that's known for like their oil and gas. So they wanted me to get into that sector.
Like to leverage that opportunity there,
Yes,
right?
yes. So I did
Were you
apply.
passionate about
Huh?
it? What were your
I
thoughts in
don't
that
have
moment?
passions. I
Really?
promise you. So I just really went for it. Like, okay, it's not like I'm actually thinking of like considering anything right now. But if anything, I've always loved to write. Like I've been writing since I was for as long as I can remember. Like as young as like should I say six? Six. Since I was in middle school.
What do
So
you write about?
normally I would try to when I first started, I would try to imitate the books that I read, like the literatures that we read in class. I would write something similar and then it started like expanding from there. Like I
Oh,
would create
okay.
my own ideas and I would just write it.
Okay.
So, but I had a passion for writing. Like I will always write, and that was the only thing that I found interesting. And so, outside of, I knew that I couldn't do that like professionally as a job because it's something that is looked down on in Nigeria. Because they'll be like, "Why are you studying English? We already speak English here." So I never really like considered going into it like actually studying it like as a major. So basically during COVID, I just started like considering my options because my dad just like it just gave me the idea that I don't really think you're passionate about. He asked like what my passion was because the petroleum engineering thing was their own idea. So I was like, listen, I don't have a passion for anything, but I do love to ride. So if anything, I would like to like maybe explore it further. But I didn't even like think I was going to do it as a major. So my dad was like, "Oh well, if you want to study it and if you're like open to traveling abroad, then that wouldn't be a problem." And then
Okay, so
yes,
he proposed.
he did.
Were you
Bec-
thrilled about the idea?
yes, I was because he told me about his friend's son traveled abroad to study in a university in Maryland. And I was like, wow, that would be so cool if I could travel out. So, like,
Okay.
I've always wanted to not only leave my city, but like venture like further.
Study
Like,
abroad, like
yes,
overseas.
yes. So like I was really interested in the idea, but at the same time, like the cost was crazy, especially at the university that I transferred to. It was pretty
Okay.
high. So I was like, well, if I need to consider the expenses as well. So I was just like, that was the only setback I experienced because I was telling myself that I wouldn't want to put my family in a situation where they can like financially like sustain my
Like
lifestyle.
in a hard way, they
Yeah,
couldn't afford for you to
exactly.
study
Mm-hmm.
here, and you have sisters,
Yeah,
like
and I have siblings.
siblings.
Yes.
Okay, so you were also thinking about that,
Yes.
but it turned out okay. So you came here.
Yes. So basically after that, I didn't really take it seriously. Like so okay, actually at first I jumped on the idea. I was like, yeah, this is great. I would really love to. And then he connected me to his friend's son that I'd applied to a university here. So I applied to that university. I think I was back then I was like or I was 15. So I applied to the uni and I got rejected. And I was like, nah. Okay. I got rejected. I was like, no way, this is it. I just gave up at that moment. I was like, listen, that's it, I'm done. So I started like I had written here. It's almost similar to SAT. We have this like general board exam that we write in Nigeria. So I wrote the exam and I got into a university, the same university that my dad studied in. I've always wanted to go there. So
That's in Nigeria.
yeah, that's in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I got into that university and I started doing petroleum engineering. And then after that, I so back when I was exploring schools, I had applied to like multiple schools. So I just received an email from St. Francis that oh, you've been admitted. And I was like, what? Like I don't even remember applying to this school. So I looked
What
through
is San
it.
Francis? Is
St.
is it
Francis
is it
College.
here in New York?
Yeah, it's downtown Brooklyn. That was the
Okay.
first college I ever attended here.
Okay.
So basically, I was like, well, this is like surprising because I was already enrolled in university. So I told my dad about it. It was really happy, and they also gave me writing and literature, the course I really wanted to study. So we started like working on the visa process, and here I am in New York.
Oh yeah, by the way, we always record in Jacksonville,
Yeah,
but today we're recording in New York, which is really
period.
amazing because
Yeah.
she knows the city. Okay, so moving forward, how was that change from a Nigerian coming here to the concrete jungle? I know you spoke English, so
Yeah.
I don't think it
There
was
was
kind of
definitely
hard.
there was a language barrier. Like not like a language barrier, but like accent wise, because I was fresh off the boat. I had a very thick accent. Like I have like the regular Nigerian accent. So I will always pronounce because Nigerians were colonized by British. So we have like
Okay.
more of a British accent to like to down to our pronunciation. Like I remember one time I was at the help desk in school, the front desk, and I was like, "Oh, my schedule isn't out yet." And she was like, "What is your, what is the schedule?" I was like, "Schedule," and
What
then
is
she was like,
shadow?
"Schedule."
Shadow. Okay.
Nigerian school is schedule. So I was like, she was so surprised. She was like, "What is a schedule?" And I was like, "A schedule." And she was like, "Well, it's a schedule." And I was like, "Great." I think my first day in the city, I don't remember what day I got here, but the first weekday that I spent in the city because school had already resumed when I got here. I took the funniest thing that happened to me was I was going to 180 Remsen Street. It was downtown. I got into a taxi and the taxi took me to like somewhere down in Brooklyn, like not downtown. It was just like the regular part of Brooklyn. I think it was probably like Brownstone or something. I'm not sure. But he dropped me up there and he pointed towards like some building and was like, that is your school. And mind you, this is January. It was snowing outside. And I was just like, I don't see San Francisco. That this is a high school, and the taxi already drove up, and I was like in the middle of nowhere. It was snowing, and I was like,
It
"Damn!"
was snowing.
It was snowing. It
Okay,
was
so
snow. I
it
was
was like
like,
January or
it
something.
was January.
Okay.
I remember, if I remember correctly, probably like I got here on the 23rd. So probably 25th. If I had been here, like if I had gotten here on a Friday, it would be on 26th or something if it was a Monday. But it was the first weekday here. So it was snowing. And I was just like, well, damn. So now I had to call my foster mom because I live with my foster mom. I live with my mom's friend. So I just called my foster mom because she's almost like a mom to me. So I called her and then she booked another taxi for me and that took me downtown. That took me to my actual school and I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is St. Francis right here.
Okay, so let's take a break in here. So your family was already here. Like, do you want to elaborate about your foster family?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they've been here for a while and they're just my mom's friend that she just contacted when she realized that I was gonna be in New York. She was like, "Oh wait, my friend is here in New York." And then we just started talking and from there she said I could live with them and that was just there.
So you went to her house, so she
Yeah.
started to be kind of your USA mom,
Yes,
kind of like
basically.
that. Okay.
And then it was just this connection that from the start, she was so different from my mom in the sense that she was less strict. And I was like, bro, I kind of
Okay.
found a balance because I was like, well, this is a different life and this is like a new experience for me. And she made it so much easier. And she will always be there to like give me guidelines. Since she's been in the country for a while. So I think that was definitely a plus. And yes,
But your family is in
yeah,
Nigeria.
back
All
home.
your family,
Yeah, were but they're here now.
all your family is here
Yeah,
now. Okay. So that's good because you were 15, 16 years old.
yeah. I was 16 when I came here.
You were 16. You came to the city and it wasn't that overwhelming because you had someone here that was
Yeah.
helping you
Yes.
to all the process.
Yes.
Well, that's definitely good. I want to touch a topic.
Yeah.
Was there culturally hard for you going to school? I mean, I know there's a language barrier
Yeah.
and we have different accents.
Yeah.
For sure, my accent is
Oh,
not.
it's good.
It's
It,
it's thick and it's not American
no.
at all, and
Yeah.
I don't want it to be because
Exactly.
I love
Because
it.
me too. I feel like that's the best part of it. Because you could always like you could always create like this sort of dynamic between your accent and like and the American accent and build like something unique that is just yours. And I think I like that part of like should I say the American lifestyle? Because even in America they have different accents. So I like the fact that my accent is unique to myself. Like it's a blend of my culture and American, like the American accent as well.
Yeah, and I feel like especially this city, it's open to kind of everybody. It's
Yes.
full of immigrant.
Yeah.
People are not as close-minded like in
Yes.
other parts of the
Yes, in
country.
the South. Yeah.
So that definitely works because
Yes.
when I feel like when you're going to school, I've never lived here, but it's
Yeah.
what I imagine. When
Yes.
you're going to school, there's people from Nigeria or Colombia,
Yeah.
but from Middle East and all
Yes.
those different places. So
Yes.
you kind of, I'm imagine I'm imagining you don't
Yeah.
feel that awkward, but how was it for you? Like the
Oh,
cultural part, aside from just the language.
I mean, during my time at St. Francis, they had like a class just for international student, and they will call it SFC. I think it's a freshman seminar, and it's basically a one unit course where it's just for international student, and it's just for us to get to know each other and like get to know like get familiar with the rules in US and like basically guide us, like give us like guidelines on like stuff that we might think is stuff that they think is necessary for us to know, and I made my first friend there. She was Indian. There were people from like different part of the world. I made friends from Bulgaria. No, it's not Bulgaria as in the design, but like there's this the designer brand. It's this one country. Let me see if I can look it up. I think she was Bulgarian or something. I'm not sure. But I made an Indian friend, definitely a lot of Mexicans, and there was one from Trinidad and Tobago. I didn't know that country existed. I think
Yeah, that's in Latin
yes,
America.
I didn't. I was like, well, Trinidad and Tobago. I literally got to know about the Caribbean from living here because I thought it was just Africa, North America. Like I never knew Caribbean existed, and I was like, well, I used to think Jamaica was in Africa. Dude, they were like,
What?
hell no. Bro, that was like a huge culture shock because I wasn't really like familiar with like different cultures, different countries. So I got here and I got like familiar with like different people from different cultures. And I think that's like the best part of especially living in New York City because it's very diverse. You meet people from like different walks of life. So it's great. It was definitely a great experience.
It's, I feel like it's definitely different environments, but
Yes.
just in one place. You can visit any part of the world, but just in one city, which is
Yes.
amazing. But
Yes, that's great.
I'm kind of wondering, when I came to the US, of course, I was like happy to know different people and different cultures, but I was always trying to kind of look for Latin people or Colombian people.
Yeah.
Were you like that? Were you like searching for Nigerians or Africans,
Yeah.
or were you like, nah, I want to hang with other people? And
Yeah.
how was that?
So when I first got there, I was trying to get like a sense of family, should I say, in a sense. So I was looking for Nigerian people. I was the only Nigerian international student in my school. It's a private school, so it's barely like you barely get to like socialize, and especially because I was new to the city, I didn't have any knowledge of like what spot to be at to socialize with like other classmates and course mates and stuff. So it wasn't really easy like finding other Nigerians, and they didn't really have that many clubs either. They probably had like an African student union, and that was just about it. And the like joining the clubs was pretty hard. Like you have to follow on Instagram, send them a text message, and then they probably have a wait list before you join. So I'm not sure if I would be saying the same thing if like at this stage I had gone there like with all this knowledge. Maybe it would have been easier for me, but because I was new to it, I kind of found it difficult. So I never really like socialized with another Nigerian when I was in St. Francis College. And I was only there for a semester. But after transferring to Borough of Manhattan Community College, I definitely found a lot of Nigerians. But at that point I wasn't closed up, but at the same time, like I felt like I
You were used
wouldn't
to other people.
exactly like at that point I was like, well, I did meet a lot of Nigerian friends. We made like good memories, but it wasn't like I was outrightly like
Searching
trying
for
to
it.
exactly. It was just something that just happened along the way.
Okay, so you build like your network
Yes,
with people from
different
every
parts.
different place.
Yes,
Oh, that's definitely good. So tell us about moving from New York to another place.
yeah. So after I graduated, actually before I graduated, I've always known like I didn't want to stay in New York because I felt like it was just a lot going on. And the city that I moved moved from, should I say, yeah. I was born and raised in like a city that was more secluded. Like it's basically our house and a few other houses on the block. So it was barely
Like
any.
small
Yeah, a
and
small town.
not so much going
Yeah,
on.
exactly. So I was already used to the peace and quiet, and New York is definitely the opposite of that. Also, I kind of like once you get used to this place, you realize like the sad reality behind like people working 9 to 5 like a clock. This is a city that never sleeps, and that means like the people here also
Everyone's
work like a.
going fast.
Yeah, yeah. Time goes by fast here, and people work like a clock, and it just feels like mentally, New York has. I mean, this
Exhausting.
is my personal point of view. Like others can have different like perspectives, but this is just my perspective of New York. This is just a. It feels like a hustling city. Like you don't really make like tangible connections. I mean, I didn't really make tangible connections. I did have a lot of classmates, course mates that I was school with, but everyone is just busy with work, and it's really hard to find time to hang out and do stuff. Maybe it's just my friend circle. Like I'm just saying it from my point of view. So that was what I feel about New York, and I was like, well, it just feels so. It feels like there's a lot going on and nothing at all at the same time. So I thought
Maybe
that
nothing meaningful, like nothing
yes, it
that
feels like the
significant.
yeah, it feels like the friendships that you're making here is just for like the semester. I tied it to the city. I was like, well, since it's a whole lot going on, my friends barely want to hang out. And like it's just crazy the number of homeless people that you see here, people getting wasted, like like drug addicts. It was just too overwhelming for me. So I felt that I needed a change of like scenery.
Because maybe when you live in a city, you stop like idealizing
Yeah,
it, so you get to
romanticizing
see
it.
the real part of it.
Yeah.
And like for me, I feel like New York is this amazing city.
Yes.
I want to live in like for at
Yes.
least 3 months just to
Yes.
take a sneak peek of how it is, like
Yes.
going to the metro and kind of run
Trust me, it
everywhere.
gets
And
it gets to a point where you're like, listen, I already did this like 2 weeks ago. I'm tired. Like I just want to stay home.
yeah, but like you stop feeling like, oh, I'm so happy and looking at the Times
Yes.
Square and Empire
Yes.
State. It's like, okay, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
And now I'm taking the part of having a hurry all the time,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yes.
But definitely that can happen on every city.
Yeah.
Like when you live somewhere, you stop like idealizing it.
Yes.
But I feel like everyone must have their own experience,
Yeah.
and everyone will have a different way
Yes.
to see
Different.
things.
Yeah.
But we value like your opinion because
Yes.
this one's about you.
Yes.
So okay, let's move forward to when you escaped New York.
Yeah, I definitely escaped New York. So moving to Jacksonville was a whole different. It was a whole different experience on its own. I feel like Jacksonville feels secluded. It felt like I wouldn't really say home, but it gave me this sense of familiarity, something that I was used to. So I liked Jacksonville from the jump. But after spending time in Jacksonville, I was like, okay, I do not see myself living here long term, but I did have good experience. I met her. I met a few
Yeah.
other good people that I had like I had actual fun with, and made connection. I made good connections with. But Jacksonville was a whole thing on its own. It wasn't really anything going on. I just go from my class to the dorm and to work, and that's just it. So I didn't really experience Jacksonville like that.
Okay, so for people who don't know what Jacksonville is, I think I always talk about Jacksonville in all the episodes because it's where I did my study abroad.
Yes.
So she went from New York, I mean, like from the chaos
Yeah.
to literally the beans.
Quiet.
I feel like it's a good city in terms like
Yes.
it is calm,
Yes.
and you're gonna talk more about this. But I feel like UNF, that it's the school, the university where we met, it's like big but not that big. So you get this chance to make good connections in there.
Yes. Yes. I mean, for sure, I did make connections, and like most of my tangible friendships that I actually made were made in my dorm. I didn't make friends in class and a couple at work, and that's just basically it. I'm not really the social person, and I'm like a social person, and once I got to Jacksonville I just kind of closed myself off. Basically, like being in New York City, I will always see people of my kind. It was like, okay, yeah, I will always see people like me, like dark skin with a hijab. Probably people with the same like similar fashion senses like as me. But in Jacksonville, there's barely anything like that. I don't think I've seen any other black hijab either. It's like as dark skinned as I am in Jacksonville. So it doesn't really have that like I feel like most Muslims that I've met are either Arabs. The blacks aren't really like black. They're just like black Americans, and yeah, it's definitely a like it's a shift, of course, and in a good way, of course. But at the same time, like it kind of felt I lost that sense of familiarity, should I say? Like I lost the sense of connection. Like it felt like I I don't meet people of my kind. Like of course there are black people in Jacksonville, but like not people that I feel like I can relate to because we share similar beliefs. We probably look the same complexion, same religion, same beliefs. So yeah, maybe that part is like that was the first thing that I noticed like when I came to move to Jacksonville, like, wait, this is a whole lot of white people here. Well, and then once I started going to classes, I realized, well, there's barely any hijabis. Wait, there's no black hijabis at all. So it kind of felt like maybe there's someone somewhere that's probably seeing this and is like, wait, I'm one too, but like
Wait, I'm
I,
black and I'm
I'm
an
here.
ENF.
But I
But
mean, so far I haven't met any. So it just made me so closed off. Like I just more or less like kept to myself. I'm always by myself. And I'm not really the type of person that is like really open to friendships, like making friends because I feel like this is like very temporary. Like it's not something that is going to be long term. And I don't really spend my time I don't like spending my time on stuff that isn't going to be long term because I can already see it ending. I already know we're not gonna be friends anymore by the end of the semester. So why should I bother?
that's so
Yeah,
sad.
so that's why I just like
I
try
didn't
to
know that.
yeah, because my experience here is just basically most of my friends it's just for the semester. And after the semester they just
Go
you
away.
wouldn't even think you were like you ever like had a conversation. Like you would text them and be like, hey girl, like what's up? I'm like, well, no response basically like rather just block me then I mean well hey it's what it is. I did make some good friends here that I have a best friend here and all that, so I'm not saying like it's not necessarily a bad thing, but my experience in college in general, most people don't want to be friends past the semester. Once the semester is done they're done. That's it.
Well, I feel like everyone for sure has a
Yeah.
different experience, but
Yes.
there's a topic that feels really relevant to me. And if
Yes.
you want to talk about like how feeling different kind of blocks you in a way you don't want to maybe make friends, like if you don't feel comfortable,
Yes.
maybe you don't see people that look like you, does that
Yes.
make you feel like apart, like you don't want to socialize? I mean, you were just talking about that, but
Yes.
if you want to kind of elaborate on your beliefs and on your culture and how that being international, it's
Yes.
just a lot of variables impacting your
Yes.
daily life.
Yes. I mean, it does factor in, but not really. I've never felt like less of myself for being who I am. So it doesn't affect like the way that I approach people and see people. But definitely
Go
yes, but
girl.
yeah, but I'm really open to like meeting like if I wanted to build a connection with someone, I was open to like meeting like-minded individuals that we share the same beliefs, probably look the same. Like that sort of representation just wasn't there. That was the only thing about it. Like the only part where my culture, my skin color, and my religion like intersect, I was just looking for representation and it just wasn't there. But minus that, it doesn't affect like the way that I relate to people. I think it's just me as a person. I just don't hold on to like things that aren't like I say like things that I can already see how it's gonna end. I don't really like to spend my time on that. So it affected the way that I see people, the way that I relate to people. And yes, yeah, that. And I mean, it would probably be different if I But actually, I did meet a lot of Nigerians. Funny thing is, I made a lot of Nigerian friends in Jacksonville more than I have in New York. And if, though
Okay.
I have like a whole Nigerian circle, but I did make like Nigerian connections in school, so it wasn't that bad. But we're not friends. It's just like a casual, like, hey, hi, I know you, that type of stuff. Because I already know how it's gonna end, so I'm probably just like, well, let me just save myself from all this and like, take a step backwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about something that really shocked me. It was really good for me hanging out with you
Oh, thank
and
you.
finding out like I could learn more about her culture and her religion, and I
Yes.
was fascinated about all the like significance of using the hijab
Yes.
and the fasting.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like shocked. Like she will not eat the whole day, and then we were working together because we worked together at the university, and
Yeah.
I was like, this girl eat nothing in all the day. So I wanted to point that out because it was really good for me that you gave me the opportunity to get to know you,
Yes.
and like we were both in the same place talking
Yes.
and hanging out, but her background was really different from mine,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that was something just so cool to have the opportunity to had it. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I think I'm more attracted to someone that's different.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm kind of blocked if somebody is not from my religion or something.
Yes.
But I don't know if you felt that way. Like, oh,
Like what?
this girl can
No,
be Catholic
actually,
or
let me
Christian.
no, actually, you guys gave me a whole different perspective of like friendship, because I saw how you guys
I'm
had like
gonna
a
cry
little
right now.
bro, you guys had a little circle, and I used to think that you guys were probably from the same school or the same, country, until I realized that you guys were like from different parts of, should I say
She's talking about because these people
Latinas?
don't know. Okay,
Oh, okay.
I had another friends at my university which were Latin and also mainly from Spain, and we worked together with her. We worked at the
Intramurals.
wellness center
Intramural.
at
Oh, you work at
intramurals.
Wellness, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we met because we actually were refs together. So imagine ourselves refing soccer to 20
uh,
sweaty guys. But
it's
yeah,
so annoying.
yeah. So there were other international friends that I had, and they related to her as
Yeah,
well, and that's like
that
who
was really
she's
cool.
talking about.
I mean, I did make some like Hispanic friends, of course, but you guys give me like a whole different vibe, should I say. You had like a sense of community
Yeah.
in a sense, because you guys were almost connected, even though you weren't from the same country, which I like. And minus that, you were a very nice person to actually like relate to. You were always open. We were always like, have fun. So that was there. And what else? And the trip to Savannah, like you guys were always open to adventures too. Because I'm the type of person that I would rather spend my time at home, sleep, than actually explore. And then I meet you guys. Like you're like, listen, we have to explore every part of this city, every part of this country. And that just gave me like a whole, like it was a different experience, of course. Like I was like, well, maybe I need to be more out there. Maybe I need to like, there's more to life than going home in my dorm. So when you guys proposed the Savannah thing, I was like, yeah, definitely. But at the end of the day, my comfort zone is my room. So I will always pick my room over anything else. But still, like I really enjoyed the trip to Savannah. It was so eye opening, like having a conversation with you on our way back. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
nice.
I remember that. That's why I wanted to invite her mainly because she's talking about a trip we did like kind of 4 months ago. So this is happening in August. So by St. Patrick's Day, I told her like, okay, let's go to Savannah, Georgia, which is like 2 hours
Yeah, 2 hour
from
drive.
Jacksonville, and she never had that kind of
Yeah,
trip with her
yes.
car, but she was open to it. So I feel like it's really beautiful, like what you're
Yes,
talking about when you have different friends from different cultures. Maybe
yes.
kind of feel that sense that you want to get out of your comfort zone. So
Definitely.
you that were like a really closed person, like you
Yeah.
wanted to stay in your room,
Yes.
you were like, okay,
Yeah. I was just
we're
like,
getting
why
out of
not?
here.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, and she was so open about and transparent about her beliefs and
Yeah.
herself. And it was crazy how we got to the point of just being coworkers and
Yeah.
don't even look at each other.
Yes.
And then I don't know,
Having a
from
candid
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, and then from one day to another we just ended up being so close.
Yes.
So I feel like this is mainly like the objective of this episode is like
Yes.
there's always going to be a culture shock when you first get out of your comfort zone, and
Yes.
second, like travel abroad. When
Mhm.
you're an international student, you're
Yes.
crossing paths with any kinds of people.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if you're open, you can find really interesting connections. And
Make
I'm
good
so,
memories.
yeah, and I'm so actually so happy to have you, because I feel like I love diversity,
Yeah.
and you're such a good, kind person. Like
Mm.
it's so crazy how different can someone be when you get to know her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like, I mean, of course, you probably have like a different.
perspective.
Yeah, exactly. But I was gonna ask, like, what was your first impression of me when you first met me?
Okay.
No lies. Be honest, because I know I probably always look like this. I was always frowning, anyways. If we're like,
I
oh,
also have that resting bitch
yeah.
face,
I was
so
like,
it's not a big deal.
yeah,
But maybe I was also in my comfort zone with my friends that were from
yes,
Spain, and also not having to talk in English is like you don't have you have to try to express yourself differently when
yes.
you're like using your second language. So I was comfortable with them, and I didn't want to maybe explore more connections. Um, and she was so like calm and quiet
Really?
on a corner.
Calm is so funny.
And I never had a friend that used a hijab before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Never.
that's how diverse I was.
No
I
way.
had there's no one in Colombia, in my school or in my university, that will use a hijab. I
Whoa.
was really surprised by the idea of going like,
Covering your hair.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
that, and also sharing a spot in the classroom with someone that different,
Ah.
or in my job.
Yeah.
So I was curious about that, but I was not like
Too forward.
familiarized with
Yeah.
somebody that looked like you before. So I was like, okay, let's talk to her. I don't know how that came from,
Yeah. I don't
but
even remember our first conversation.
yeah,
I just feel
me
like we just be
neither.
talking on the bus and that was just it and you guys would go your ways. And then suddenly we just started getting closer and closer and then we got here. I don't remember what our first conversation like actual maybe we would just like the shifts that we work
Vibing.
yeah, the shifts that we work together I was just like vibing and stuff. That must have been it. Cause it's a progress, of course. Like we went from just you
Nothing.
guys sitting over there and I'm sitting over here. I always like to sit so far away because I mean of course like I wasn't familiar like with anyone over there, so I would rather just be in my space. And then we just went from there to like actually communicating and actually vibing and like playing basketball together, traveling together, buying you will always bring us food too. Yeah, eating together, refing. Oh my god, refing soccer together. I hate soccer. Ah. Well, that was an experience, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate every single moment of that. Like you guys gave me a whole different perspective into like friendship in general and like life in general, basically. And that's great. Like when I told my foster mom that I was going to Savannah. She was like, no, no, no. Like once I went and I came back and I showed her the picture, she was like, oh my God, that is so cool. This I was like, well, if I had listened to you when I haven't left, like I wouldn't have experienced this. And even right now, I told her I was gonna be with you. And that's why she called earlier. She was like, well, she was just checking up on me to make sure I was safe. But she really liked you. She liked you guys, like the way that I talk about you guys. She was like, well, like she also got like a different idea of like because we are more of like a close up like we're more of like close up people go to work and go back home. That's it. Like we're not
Okay.
into
No
like
hanging out.
exploring.
Okay.
Yes, we're not into exploring the city or like trying to go find a new spot to wait. Nah, nobody really cares about that. Just go home and like bond, spend time with each other. That's just about it. So yeah, that's a whole different perspective, and I really appreciate that.
Okay. I think we're kind of probably in
Wrapping
the end
up.
of the episode. Yeah. But do you want to tell like something to the people that are traveling or studying abroad and that will maybe face a cultural shock like the one you had, or
Yeah.
that are maybe close to make these new connections like the one we did?
Yeah.
What would you say to them and what would you suggest?
If I could say something to my younger self, it
Yeah.
would be yes,
Yeah.
yes. If I could say something to
Little
myself 4 years
Doja.
ago, I would just tell myself that be confident. You are like be confident. Whatever sets you apart is what makes you unique. That's just it. Like what
Hell
sets you
yeah.
apart is what makes you unique. So I would have just been like more confident and definitely not lose my app being like definitely not be so quick to like merge my Nigerian accent with the American accent. I would have definitely stuck to my Nigerian accent and like speak the Nigerian way. Because
Yeah.
if
Don't
you
try
can
to don't try to
adapt,
change that.
yes, yes. I feel
Let
like
everyone
people,
know you have a thick accent. You're not from here. You were not born
yes,
here. So
I definitely. I mean, they could still tell, yeah, but still, like, I would say let everyone around you adapt. Don't be the one to be like, well, no, don't do that. Be your authentic self. Be yourself. Find the true you. Like, be confident. That would be like the one thing that I would say to myself, to my younger self. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Like I know this sounds like cliche, but wear what you want to wear. Talk like you want to talk. Don't
my
kind of
future.
change your personality just for adapt to others.
Yes,
Maybe.
yes, definitely. Do not try to conform into a space. Either like rather let the space like actually accommodate you. Don't try to make yourself smaller to fit in a room. Be your true self. Occupy space. Be you. That would be like one thing that I was held to my because I was so new, so fresh, so I was not confident. I would always be like, oh my God, I'm not like this person. I'm not like this person. I can't even speak fast. Like my English is not good. This and that. But now I'm like, well, if I don't speak English, English is not my first language. Like, damn it. Like, fuck it. I don't want to cuss on your podcast, but fuck it. I don't really care.
It's
Like, if
fun.
you don't understand what I'm saying, well, you gotta maybe try to strain your ears or like, maybe do you want me to repeat it? Because I'm gonna say it in the same accent, the same way. I'm not gonna try to speak the same way you speak just so you can like understand me. You need to like as a person you need to be accommodating. If you lose that, if you don't have that ability, I shouldn't be the one to change myself just to fit into your little bubble. So yeah, if anything I probably wouldn't have like, but I still feel like merging accent probably brought out like my unique accent. Just for say like it's not Nigerian, it's not American, it's just Ayatollah's accent, so maybe that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, like you created the
um
own your own new version of
yeah.
yourself,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
definitely good. And
Yeah.
something I will say is like to that person you think it's really different from you, just talk to her
Yeah.
and see how can
Yes.
that turn out.
Yes,
And maybe
definitely.
you'll get a friend that lives in New York and
Or
then
maybe
you
you
can
get a
hang out
smack
with
like,
after.
don't talk to me. No, I was just kidding.
Yeah,
Maybe you get a friend.
even if that turns in a bad way,
Yeah, at
like
least you tried.
yeah, like like going out of your comfort zone is not just trying new things about you, it's also about how you relate to others. It's
Yes.
not go to bungee jumping, it's not just that, it's like go to that new journey and
Yeah.
meet new people with
Hmm.
different perspectives, and that will make you so rich. Like I feel like I'm a different person after, of course, like this change and the study abroad, but after meeting that lot of people with different cultures.
Definitely.
Okay, I think we made it to the end. Is there something else you wanted to say, maybe?
Subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, guys. And yes, that's just about it. Have a good day, I guess. It
Okay,
was really nice, like being here. I'm so glad that you had me on
I'm
this.
so glad we did this. Like,
Yeah, I'm so happy we finally like we made the time to do
we
this.
made the time because I'm a tourist right now in New York with my parents,
Yes.
and she lives here, and we found this little time in the
Yeah.
chaos of New York just to talk about and share this with you guys, which is really good, and I hope you appreciate this. Keep looking forward for more episodes of Desde Afuera podcast. I'm trying to share every detailed experience of everybody I met and from people I feel like can share something really special to anyone that is having second thoughts about leaving home and study abroad, and you're losing the world if you stay at home with your parents,
Yeah.
and I feel like that. Okay, so thank you and bye.
Bye. Adios.